Making headlines this hour, Minister of Foreign Affairs meets with Secretary General of UN, Antonio Guterres. Minister of Health states that Maldives and Pakistan are currently witnessing the peak of cooperation. And Maldives prepares to join the global hour dedicated to Mother Nature and the planet, Earth Hour.
Hello and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Fatma Sara. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Mohammed Asim meets with Secretary General of the UN, Antonio Guterres, and other diplomats during his visit to New York.
In the meeting, Minister Asim and the UN Secretary General discussed on Maldivian priorities at the United Nations and other issues of mutual interest. Minister Asim also met with the President of United Nations General Assembly, Miroslav Lajcak, and discussed on the ongoing discussions at the General Assembly, including reform of the United Nations development system, the representation of SIDS in the decision-making processes of the UN, and the PGA's priorities for the year. In addition, Minister Asim also held a meeting with permanent representatives of the Caribbean countries and discussed on promoting the interest and priorities of small island developing state SIDS at the UN, addressing climate change and ensuring representation of SIDS. Minister Asim also met with the members of Africa Group to reinforce links between African countries and the Maldives and to present the UNSC candidate of Maldives to the group. Meanwhile, Maldives with the UN Foundation hosted a side event on addressing the least developed countries LDC's graduation gap. In this regard, the Maldivian foreign minister shared post-graduation challenges and how the government is addressing them. Minister Asim is visiting New York and has earlier spoken at the high-level meeting to launch the International Decade for Action, Water for Sustainable Development 2018 to 2028, hosted by the President of the General Assembly.
Minister of Health Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim states that Maldives and Pakistan are currently witnessing the peak of cooperation as a result of the strategic foreign policy implemented by President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum. Addressing the official function held to mark the 78th Pakistan Day, Minister Nazim said that Pakistan has proven to be amongst the most loyal and persistent contributors to the development of Maldives.
Speaking as the chief guest at the ceremony organized by Pakistani Embassy to mark the 78th Pakistan Day, Minister of Health Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim stated that Maldives and Pakistan share a strong time-tested relationship which has emerged victorious in tackling all challenges it has faced.
Early records indicate Maldivian merchants visited the port cities of Karachi and Lahore, trading goods and commodities, and learning the rich culture and language, influence of which can be traced in our language and culture even today. As Muslim nations, not only do we share similar traditions and culture, but also we have been closely cooperating in international fora such as the United Nations and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, advocating for the rights of our Muslim brothers and sisters and addressing the challenging issues facing the Islamic Ummah today.
Minister Nazim highlighted that both countries share a bond through culture and religion and cited that Pakistan and Maldives have displayed unity in fighting against all hurdles or challenges faced by the Islamic religion in the international fora. Addressing the ceremony, the newly appointed ambassador of Maldives to Pakistan, Vice Admiral retired Wasim Akram, said Pakistan follows a non-intervention foreign policy and assured that Pakistan would provide its assistance to Maldives in developmental efforts. Ambassador Wasim Akram noted that Maldives is the fastest developing Islamic country in the world.
We are tied with Maldives through a common religion, culture, and the same region. We hold Maldives in a very high esteem. I first time visited Maldives in 1981. At that time, Maldives was a sleepy town. Today, it's a very dynamic nation, most progressive nation among the Muslims, and the women in particular in Maldives are totally empowered, I think more than even men.
Pakistan Day or Pakistan Resolution Day and also the Republic Day of Pakistan is celebrated in the country to commemorate the Lahore Resolution passed on 23rd March 1940. It also marks the adoption of the first constitution of Pakistan to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan on 23rd March 1956, making Pakistan the world's first Islamic republic.
Maldives Transport and Contracting Company MTCC reveals that work on developing the harbour of Dambidu Island of Lam Atoll is expected to be complete by April. MTCC revealed that a large percentage of the harbour has now been completed, while works on construction of the quay wall is expected to be complete by April. Briefing the media, Managing Director of MTCC, Ahmad Husham, said the delay in developing the quay wall is caused due to difficulties in finding the appropriate tools for the project. In this regard, Husham revealed that currently work of bringing boulders to be used in the construction is underway. Work on developing the 500 feet long, 250 feet wide Dambidu harbour was contracted to MTCC in 2015. The project is worth $2 million. In addition to Dambidu, MTCC is also developing a 700 feet by 260 feet harbour at Mabadu harbour. The harbour is expected to cost over $2.7 million. Housing Ministry reveals plans to relocate the outdoor gym at Rasvanu Beach in order to develop the leisure housing units in the area. According to Ministry of Housing, the outdoor gym is to be relocated to the northern side of Rasvanu Beach. Coral Boulevard will develop a 350 luxury condominium near Rasvanu Artificial Beach and has been contracted to Singapore's Changhua Construction. The project consists of 4 towers, 25 floors each. Maldives prepares to join the global hour dedicated to Mother Nature and the planet, Earth Hour.
Earth Hour is a worldwide movement organized by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, which is held annually, encouraging individuals, communities and businesses to turn off non-essential electric lights for an hour from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. on a specific day towards the end of March as a symbol of commitment to the planet. It began as a lights off event in Sydney, Australia in 2007, and since then it has grown to encourage more than 7,000 cities and towns across 180 countries and territories. This year, the official events of Earth Hour in Maldives is expected to go on floor in Addu city. According to EcoCare, the organizers of the event, the official activities of Earth Hour 2018, including the main switch-off event, which is celebrated at a large scale every year, will be carried out in Addu city. EcoCare Maldives revealed that the core objective behind selecting Addu city as the host destination is to allow locals from different parts of the country to participate in the activities. In an exclusive interview with PSM News, country manager of Earth Hour Maldives, Ahmed Nasheed, cited that Addu city is the optimum destination to host Earth Hour 2018 as the southern land matches perfectly with the theme Connect to Earth. He noted that it is a great opportunity for the city to receive a global exposure. Earth Hour will be marked from 20:30 hours to 21:30 hours tonight and would see the participation of council members, government authorities and non-governmental organizations in Addu city. EcoCare Maldives has held discussions with Bank of Maldives, Fenaka Corporation Limited, Maldives National Defence Force MNDF, Maldives Red Crescent and other non-governmental organizations in order to make this event a success. Earth Hour was first celebrated in Maldives in 2009.
Health Protection Agency HPA reveals 136 cases of tuberculosis TB were recorded in Maldives last year. HPA revealed these statistics in an official statement released to coincide with World Tuberculosis Day.
According to Health Protection Agency HPA, Maldives has been amongst the countries which has the lowest record of tuberculosis, TB. HPA revealed that a total of 12,247 cases have been recorded between 1966 and 2017. HPA cited in the past 3 years a declining trend has been observed in the cases of TB, recorded with just 136 cases of TB last year. The agency revealed that the expatriate community living in Maldives are at a higher risk of contracting the disease. According to the statistics issued by the National TB Control Program, the number of TB cases filed by expatriates in Maldives has increased. The administration of President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum has been exerting major efforts to eradicate TB from the country. As part of these efforts, President Yamin launched the National Strategic Plan to End Tuberculosis in Maldives. The government of Maldives aims to become the first country in the South Asia region to eliminate tuberculosis. Under the National Strategic Plan, a total expenditure of approximately $11 million would be invested in efforts to eliminate TB from Maldives by 2022. In addition, the government aims to reduce the TB indicating rate by 50% and the TB mortality rate by 75%. Tuberculosis is a disease caused by a bacteria called a Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The bacteria usually attacks the lungs, but they can also damage other parts of the body. Tuberculosis spreads through the air when a person with bacteria coughs, sneezes or talks.
Minister of Tourism Musa Zamir states that the Maldivian tourism industry has always been buoyant and overcomes all the challenges it faces in its development. Minister Zamir made the statement after inaugurating Travel and Tourism magazine.
Tourism being one of the major sources of income for the country, the administration of President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum has exerted major efforts to foster its development. Under this objective, various advertising techniques has been executed to market Maldives as a top tourist destination in the world. Maldives Promotional House, which came into existence 7 years ago, is now one of the major promotional stakeholders in the tourism industry. The second magazine published by Maldives Promotional House titled Travel and Tourism was launched by Minister of Tourism Musa Zamir. Addressing the ceremony after inaugurating the magazine, the Maldivian tourism minister said that the Maldivian tourism industry has always been buoyant, speedily overcoming any challenge it faces. Zamir noted that the state of emergency declared was one such hindrance and attributed the strategic action plan of President Yamin and the cooperation of stakeholders and personnel in the industry to the speediness of the industry's ability to bounce back to normalcy. Briefing the media about the latest magazine launched, Director of Storytelling Ali Nafiz said that the magazine would provide the latest information required by insiders to the industry from a single book. According to Maldives Promotional House, the Travel and Tourism magazine would be made available at airports, major fairs and hotels worldwide. PSM's Maldives TV would assist in promoting the magazine, which would be released in every 2 months.
And a look at news from international arena. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi says that his first term in office had strengthened the state.
During a televised address to troops while visiting an airbase in North Sinai, al-Sisi defended his tough austerity measures days ahead of re-election vote. Sisi also said IS militants would soon be defeated in the Sinai Peninsula as he visited troops battling the jihadists in a wide camp there. Polls will open on Monday when voters choose between Sisi and one little-known candidate. Most opponents dropped out in January, citing intimidation by authorities. Sisi's critics say he has cracked down harshly on dissents and that tough economic reforms have eroded his popularity. Supporters say such measures are needed to stabilize Egypt, which was rocked by years of unrest after protests toppled veteran leader Hosni Mubarak in 2011.
And the latest from Syria, more buses carrying rebel fighters and their families leave the eastern Ghouta town of Harasta, marking the second day of an evacuation deal.
Insurgents in Harasta began withdrawing in a convoy of buses for opposition territory in northwestern Syria on Thursday. More buses left on Friday carrying fighters and their family members. At the evacuation point on the outskirts of the city where the buses were gathering, rebels were seen taken to Syrian army soldiers as they waited to be allowed to leave. Some men had disembarked the buses to pray, while women and children walked nearby.
Investigators from Britain's data watchdog entered the London offices of a data analytics firm at the centre of a storm over allegations it improperly harvested Facebook data to target US voters. Here's more on this.
About 20 officials wearing black jackets with ICO enforcement on them arrived at the central London offices of Cambridge Analytica soon after a High Court judge granted a search warrant sought by the Information Commissioner's Office, ICO. According to Reuters witness, the officials, who were let into the building by security guards, brought crates with them. Elizabeth Denham, head of ICO, sought the warrant after the whistleblower revealed Cambridge Analytica had harvested the private information of millions of Facebook users to support Donald Trump's 2016 US presidential campaign. Britain is investigating whether Facebook, the world's largest social media network, did enough to protect data.
We take a short break to bring you the prayer call. Stay tuned.